If we go to the front of the Courier Mail's already rejoicing. Courier Mail's already rejoicing. Feast for the fans. Super hub. Queensland lifeline for footy codes. Queensland is poised to become the undisputed, undefeated sporting capital of Australia after the AFL yesterday announced all 10 Victorian clubs would be relocating to the Sunshine State, with the NRL and A-League on standby to move north if the coronavirus outbreak in Sydney worsens. Fans in Queensland could soon be in for a feast of football, with the possibility that 18 or more games across 3 codes could be played on any given weekend. And of course, Townsville next month has got the Horn Zoo fight. Where would you want to be anywhere else other than Queensland right now, Caleb?
And look, I mean, there are many possibilities in this. Of course, you know, Queensland does have a couple of AFL teams, but it's not, as we say, an AFL state. Perhaps at a time when people have been so starved of sport, they might actually, people who've never been to an AFL game in their life, Queenslanders may actually come out and take up the few thousand spots that they'll be allowed to have at any given ground and go and watch an AFL game. Maybe they'll fall in love with the game. Wouldn't that be excellent? And the other great thing about it is that, at least temporarily, it puts a pause on the Victorian stranglehold over the AFL. I mean, in many respects, the AFL still likes to think of itself as the VFL. So to get it out of Victoria for a while and get it up to Queensland, decentralise the league a bit, I think, is probably a good thing for it. The more eyes you can get on AFL, the more people you can get interested in it, the better. And, you know, if I were a Queenslander right now, I would be so happy, because you're right, I mean, it's turning into the sporting Mecca right now. And, you know, you say, where would you rather be? Well, I'm here in Adelaide, and maybe if I had the opportunity, I'd rather be sitting on the Gold Coast, where I'm sure it's probably about 23 degrees every day now, as opposed to the 14 degrees we're getting in Adelaide. Lovely and sunny, and sport at your fingertips. I mean, how much better can it get?
Well, Caleb, I've got to say, I'll be there. Take it as a given, I will be there if the grand final's at the Gabba. But I did go and see the 2012 grand final at the MCG. Swans versus Hawthorn, I think. And I've got to say, it was a magnificent game, and I've got it in my top 5 sporting events I've ever been to. And it was absolutely magnificent. I enjoyed the spectacle. I love any form of elite sport. And I can tell you now, they will pack out the Gabba. Now, the Gabba cops are the raw prawn. People say it's too old. It's archaic. And in many respects it is. But I'll tell you what, whenever that grand final is, and it'll be soon, there'll be a lot of people, a lot of Queenslanders there.